Okay, this is the last video for this section as we talk about waking up, cleaning up, growing up, and now also showing up. So this video is about showing up. What do we mean by it, and how can we really truly, fully show up more fully? So we've spoken to growing up and the importance of growing up and how important it is to really start to see and recognize what are our values, what are our self-investments, what are our beliefs, and how can we really grow up and mature, both from a care point of view. So care grows up through stages. We care more, we don't only care for ourselves or our little group, but we care for the world, or we care for all beings in the world. Waking up then has to do with how do we moment by moment really rest back into this state of awareness, this state of awakening, and how can we really start to explore these higher states of consciousness of ourselves, and how can we then, as a growing up, bring that into life more fully. Cleaning up, as we spoke about, has to do with shadow work and integration and identifying the wounds from the past that needs to be healed and integrated. This often has to do with limiting beliefs, shadow material, which can be integrated through really starting to deeply look at what we like and what we don't like. And what I've noticed in my own practice and working with many individuals on this process is that naturally, as we clean up our limiting beliefs, shadows from the past, any wounds from the past, we start to wake up. And naturally, as we wake up, we start to grow up. And naturally, as we grow up, we start to clean up and wake up. So really they're now separated as three different categories, but actually they really overlap and merge into one another. And so that's why we can't separate it. However, in a lot of Eastern as well as Western traditions, they just focus on waking up, just meditation practice, or just self-development and self-improvement and how we grow up in the world. Yeah, so we really want to integrate all these aspects together. And then when we integrate these aspects together, this allows us then to show up more fully as a fully integrated human being. So showing up really has to do with bringing all of these aspects together into a cohesive whole, so we can live a fully integrated, evolved, and inspired human life. And really what this has to do is that we really recognize that our path is unique. All of our paths are unique. And how do we live to the fullest to our path, which could look very different for different people? So how can we really listen to ourselves and really show up to the world and to ourselves? And how can we become an expression and a beacon of light through the work that we've done for ourselves and on ourselves in the world, for the collective, on behalf of awakening, on behalf of service itself? And not per se on behalf of anyone else or anything else, or on behalf of ourselves, but simply on behalf of service itself. And so here we really become an expression of joy, playfulness, possibility, and potential for other individuals to also be inspired by. And this can be done through various means. This can be done through parenthood, this can be done through business, this can be done through other relationships in life. Yeah, so there's various expressions. It can be done through writing or reading or singing. There's various different expressions of this, and the expression of this is really happening moment by moment, day to day. How we do anything is how we do everything. How we do anything is how we do everything. How are we showing up for ourselves? How are we showing up for wife, husband, children? And really, how are we showing up holistically and in a way that is true for us? So not giving the wife or the husband or the children the leftovers after work. And here, how can we really, as we meditate and understand more deeply of ourselves, how can we really bring, let's say, our employees or people in our team more into this conversation as well? It has to do with showing up. It has to do with showing up in the world and sharing this work in some way, shape, or form. And the sharing could be very clear, like through a course or through attending something. It could also be, and more so actually, as a way of being. How are you being in the world? And how is it light? How is your light, your potential coming through as a grounded, form of possibility that can be shared and experienced by others. So here's where we bring it all together into showing up. And then again, as we show up more fully, we will most likely be forced to grow up more fully and clean up more as we discover more and then wake up more. Yeah, so you can really start to see how this is a spiral, a never-ending spiral of waking up, growing up, cleaning up, and showing up. And that leaving anything out of the spiral will be disservice to the individual or the collective. It's really all parts are important and all parts complement each other. And sometimes there might be phases in life where we choose to meditate for, let's say, a month on a retreat or something like that. And so we're really focusing on a particular aspect, which probably is more around waking up. And sometimes there's phases in life where we really focus more on growing up. So really focus on growing a business or showing up with a family. Yeah, so it's okay to have different parts of life where we tend to like lean more towards one aspect than the other, which will naturally happen anyway. However, just by recognizing that these parts are all a part of healthy, holistic developments, we can really see where in our practice are we not fully integrating one of these 4 elements, and what can we integrate more to really show up more fully in the world.